Okay, so here's the deal. I am going to attempt to do a vlog. I spent, not sure if you could hear that bird going crazy, but yes, I'm going for a walk. A doctor recommended walk. I'm trying to lower my cholesterol. He put me on medication, but then also said I should do a brisk walk every morning, or he said a couple times a week. I always have to overachieve. But anyway, enough looking at me. Okay, so this is the view I'm seeing on my walk. Much better to look at than my face. But yeah, so the glasses I'm wearing, I ordered online. That's the first time I've ever done that because the place I got my eye test done, I wanted frameless glasses, and they're like, oh, well, if you want frameless, you have to go for the designer glasses, which I thought sounded so ridiculous. It's like, you want me to go with designer frameless? They're frameless. What's to design? But yeah, of course, they were like an extra $300. And I'm like, okay, thanks. I'll just take my prescription and go. And I did online and got these for half the price of what they were asking. Okay, so today is the last day of June, so that means tomorrow is the 1st of July, which is Canada Day. We used to refer to it as Firecracker Day when I was a kid, and because it happened so close to the end of school, there were all kinds of fireworks you could buy, but the favorite of ours was the burning schoolhouse. So it let off all kinds of fireworks, and it was shaped like an old red schoolhouse, and then it burst into flames at the end, and we would cheer and laugh. Okay, so there's a downside to this path I'm walking on, and that's this. This is all thanks to these little fellas, geese and ducks. And so yeah, it creates quite a mess. More about that in a minute. But yeah, so the end of school always reminded me of time for fireworks. And my older sister and her boyfriend always tried to make it enjoyable. Oh, look, a squirrel. Squirrel. Ooh, he's a growing concern. And behind him are those loudmouth magpies. We have a duck over here. I have no idea if you guys are going to like this video or not, but I will record it and I will post, and you can let me know in the comments if you want to see more like this. But yeah, so I was saying my older sister and her boyfriend used to try to make Canada Day or Fireworks Day the most enjoyable, and back in the 70s, everybody lit off their own fireworks in their own yards. So yeah, everyone, okay. We have more squirrels. I obviously get easily distracted. I see one of them. Don't know if you can see him. And there goes a rabbit or a hare. Okay, so as I was saying, my sister and her boyfriend used to try to make Firecracker Day as special as possible. So they were older, but still fairly young and inexperienced at those kind of things. So I remember one year they got this twirling firecracker that they stuck on a fence post on my dad's newly built fence, and started on fire, and it was spinning around, and it started the post on fire, or it burnt it anyway, scorched it. So yes, Dad was not too impressed by that. Okay, so yeah, I was going to tell you more about walking in these minefields of bird droppings. So in the 90s, I had the fortune of receiving a trip to Europe at my work, and my younger sister had just moved there with her husband. They moved to England, and so I was able to go over there and visit them. And while we were there, we went to Paris, which was incredible, but it was very much a dog city back then. I don't know if it still is, but everybody had a dog, and dogs were allowed everywhere in restaurants. I remember my sister decided she wanted to try French fries in France. Thought that would be fun, and I agreed. So when the waiter was bringing us our plate of French fries, he stopped at one point and grabbed one off the plate and dropped it. And I'm like, what is he doing? And he was feeding it to a dog that was sitting beside its owner right there in the restaurant. And then he brought him to us. So we were kind of shocked by that. Also, we were kind of annoyed because they weren't like French fry style. They were the dollar style. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but nice thing about this walk is it has these little offshoots where you can go and sit on a bench and enjoy the view. Oh, here's some rose bushes. I think these are tame version of a wild rose, which is the provincial flower of Alberta, the province I live in. There's all kinds of wildlife here. Yeah, these benches hilariously enough, when the city redid this area, they made some major improvements. But one of them was not putting in black metal benches. So the original ones were made of metal and they were painted black. And so, of course, when the sun would shine on them, they became basically a stovetop element. There were many hot cross buns in the city before they decided, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. So who knows what that costs taxpayers. But so yeah, even though you can feel like you're in the wilderness on this path, there's houses right all along it. And what I tend to do is go look them up when they're for sale so I can see inside, because I am, that nosy. Okay, I realized I didn't finish my Paris story. So because it was such a dog-friendly city and people were walking their dogs on the streets of Paris and not picking up after them, because I don't think there were any kind of rules or bylaws at the time, one of the oddest sights I saw was beautifully dressed, beautiful women looking like they just stepped off a runway, walking down the street and doing this dodge walk. So you could tell they were trying to walk like models, but actually couldn't because of the dog poo they were trying to dodge. Look at mama and her baby. Sorry. But yeah, I just thought that was such an interesting sight. I think this is one of the prettiest parts of the lake. Here's a bit of a view. I've done a video actually walking around the lake and put it in fast mo, or maybe I did different speeds, as a meditative, relaxing video. See this tree here? There's many. Like when I was younger, I used to think this was a sage bush that just overgrew. Turns out these are actually olive trees. Look, you can see the olive blossoms right now, but they get little tiny olives because this is not the kind of climate to grow actual edible olives. But yeah, I've always liked this part of the trail system. At one point there were homeless people living in here, and there's this little den under this tree. Don't know if anything actually lives in there. It's quite big, but I've often thought if I found myself homeless, maybe that's where I would live, though it wouldn't be ideal in the winter. When I was talking about the fireworks, and so yeah, on Canada Day, now cities or counties or suburbs do their fireworks instead of people letting them off themselves in their yards, causing fires and injuries. So it's all sort of a municipal thing now. But because I live in about as far north a city as you can get, the fireworks don't go off till about 11 at night here because it's still bright outside. So you can see these little blossoms are going to turn into tiny olives. But yeah, so as a result, because I am not a night person at all, I'm always in bed before the fireworks go off. And luckily my dog Caesar, who sleeps with me, is not afraid of fireworks, because yeah, I'm usually woken up at about 11 when they start going off, and Caesar doesn't even blink. He may sort of fidget a little bit, but not like some people's dogs that I've heard of that go cowering in the bathtub. But yeah, this part of the park is just beautiful. All these rocks to sit on if you want. Enjoy the view. So I'm all over the map with this video. Please forgive me, it's my first time vlogging. So yeah, these are my glasses. As you can see, they're frameless and they are progressives. So originally, well, the eyeglass place that wanted me to buy designer rimless also told me, oh, you can't do progressives with rimless. For some reason, the online company didn't seem to find an issue with that. This is a nice quiet place. Today is a Monday morning, so I don't know if, I think a lot of people are taking today off because tomorrow is a holiday. But now that I'm retired, that's never an issue, and it's kind of weird. It used to be something when I was working, I would mark it all plotted out on the calendar throughout the year. Oh, here's a long weekend, I'll try to take this day off, and on and on. But now that I'm retired, I don't even usually know there's a long weekend, which is so weird because they were what I live for. Oh, the lilies have come out. So that's looking nice. For now, last year at this time, they came out and some moron went and picked every single one of them. Not to take home and put in a vase, that they picked them and just threw them on the ground. Oh, if I want to sue the city, I could trip on that. But yeah, so this is a walk around the lake, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so that's it. That's the deal with my first attempt, maybe only attempt at a vlog. Thanks for watching. Bye.